Lord. Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Again, today is Wednesday, November 7th, 2018. And I'm with my friends, the talented real estate guru collection, the Funk Collection, Jeff and Renee Funk from EXP Realty. I'm super excited to have them on. Everybody say hi. We're kind of expecting we got kind of a surprise drink coming. But let us know you can hear us or see us. We are obviously not in my normal private room. We're in the dining room today. Rose Kemp, what's up? Give us a heart or a thumbs up. Allie McCarroll, just so we know. All right, we got a thumbs up. So we are all thirsty today, we decided. But I'm super excited to have them on. They're big in the community. They've got a great story. We talked a little bit about it, but I want to learn more. So welcome. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having us, Ted. And first, can I just say thank you for collaborating already on the outfit department.
Oh, look, right?
Yeah.
It's like we called each other. We have some version of that. What color blue is this? Periwinkly blue,
Or
light
isn't it
blue.
cobalt?
You're probably right. I don't know. I can bear. My wife had to pick out my outfit, so.
I might be able to tell you the Pantone color. Is that how you say it, Pantone, or is
Pantone.
it Pantone?
I'm going to say Pantone. I like that. That's so much better.
Depending on where you
Woo,
are.
I don't know. So we're here. We're having a great time. So great to get to know you guys. They want to get to know you too. So tell us a little bit about. Joe Toma comes on and says how much he loves Jeff Funk. I love Joe Toma. So tell us a little bit about you guys.
Awesome.
You can start, either one of you.
Go
Married
ahead,
couple.
Jeff.
I'm not sure what's happening.
My name's Jeffery Funk. Originally from Long Island, New York.
Long Island.
Long Island, from Babylon, and been here since '94. So I got my 20-year card. We decided. And,
You can put the semi-native on your
am.
license plate if they
Yeah,
still had that.
I am.
I think it's native, though.
Totally native.
It's native.
Much like everybody, I had no idea, that I was going to get into real estate, and I got my license back in '99 and decided to go full-time in '07, just when the market was going to crash.
That's a really great time to go full-time, Jeff.
It was a blessing in disguise, Ted. It was an absolute blessing in disguise. And so Renee decided to come in and help me with the real estate market back in, 2013? Yeah.
So what did you two do before? Remember I said I was going to give you a hard time?
That's right,
If you started
he
with
did.
I'm born and now I'm a realtor?
He did it.
He did. It's exactly what he did. That's why I
He
always
stepped
say it
right
with people. It's
into
so
it.
funny. So what did you do beforehand and how did you all meet?
We met online.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Nice.
So we talk about online lead conversion, and I was doing online lead conversion in the '90s, and I met her right around 2000, reeled her in, and so when people talk about lead conversion, I get it.
You did it, right? You had the ultimate lead conversion
I did.
with
Look at
Renee.
her, it's
I'm just a little upset right now that you put a timestamp on it, which starts to give an indication as to our age.
You were 5 when you got married.
That's right, yeah.
You're still in your
Exactly.
20s. Oh, look. So just for the record, before we get going, the beautiful Christine just brought us, there's a new drink that's being debuted at the Citrus Club. I'm going to help her.
Oh, thank
It's called
you.
the Bogart Blossom.
Bogart Blossom.
And the
It
Bogart
looks
Blossom
beautiful.
is rosé vodka. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Rosé vodka, some Saint Germain, a teeny tiny bit of that, and lemon. And I think there's a splash of soda in it. It's delicious, and it's got blueberries in it to make it
Blueberries.
look pretty.
Cheers.
Cheers. So we're
Cheers.
debuting it here on the show. So cheers.
Proud
Hopefully
to
you
do
like it.
that.
Can't go
All
wrong
right.
with rosé vodka. All right, so you didn't date yourself. You just, it is what it is. But what did you do before? What were you obviously you had a career before real estate?
I did vacation rentals, so I've always been in kind of a little bit of real estate. I did short-term vacation rentals near Disney. I came out of college. I had a family business, and they asked me to come down here and manage properties. As every college kid, thought I was going to come down here and I'd be going to conventions and doing all these fun things that business people do. And I came down managing properties. I was cleaning toilets.
Oh, jeez.
Toilets.
So you started at the very
I
bottom.
started at the bottom and worked up.
Someone has to do it.
And what did you do, Renee, before real estate?
So I'm originally from Michigan.
There it is. See, we got her to say it. I like it.
I will not go right to I'm now a realtor, but what we will talk about is I'm originally from Michigan, and like a lot of us Floridians, wanted to escape that snow.
Sure.
So, one of the things, Ted, that you and I were talking about earlier was talking about how we have been so blessed to love what we do right now.
So true.
When you asked me what I was doing before, is I kind of bounced around a lot.
Did you?
Because I wasn't really all that happy. So I have a pretty big history in the customer service industry. Worked for Disney Cruise Line for a little while.
You did? Oh my God, that's like my
did.
dream job, I
So I
think.
worked in Celebration in the headquarters.
Nice.
And then I even had a stint for a little while as a flight attendant.
You were an FA.
As a
I
flight
love my
attendant.
FAs.
And
I always
thank you
make
for
friends with
saying
them.
FA and not stewardess, because the proper thing is
Oh my
flight
God,
attendant.
I heard somebody call someone a stewardess on Monday when I was like, it's not 1970, Joe, or whatever your name was.
That was like earlier when someone asked for a fax number.
Oh
It
my
happened.
God,
I
yeah,
said,
1985 call. There is no fax number. So you bumped around,
I
like you
bumped
were looking
around a
for
little
what you
bit.
wanted to do.
I had a lot of fun. As in my younger years, I knew that I wanted to get away from the snow. So that checked.
That's
the
such a
box.
motivation that people don't put enough emphasis on. But yeah, that cold snow thing,
Yeah.
it's life-changing when you come down here and you're like, ooh, it's 65.
Right?
That's
So
the
when
coldest.
When we talk to a lot of our family who's still up north, or even our customers who are considering relocating here, this time of year, I often get a little cheeky with it because I'll say, you know what? So even now, as the three of us sit here, I'm looking outside the window. This is the time that the Floridians get excited because we start to open windows.
Correct.
Yes.
Well, they start to hunker down.
Yes.
Not happening here. We're getting fresh air.
We're getting fresh air. Look who just
Right?
popped on.
Hey, Gretchen.
Miss Gretchen Carlson. What's up, Gretchen?
Hello. Gretchen, give us a little love.
She's gonna send us love. Yeah, I think that Florida, people, they love to come visit and they're like, I couldn't live there. I'm like, how could you not live here?
Right.
It's such a, and I know it's different. It's a different mindset. It's totally a different mindset. It's definitely a different economy compared to up north. But you can adapt, trust me.
You
and you're
adapt
not dealing
very
with the
quickly.
snow. I remember my parents used to have to put salt on the driveway. Like all this stuff that you don't
Forgot
think
about
about.
that.
You
Yeah.
don't think about that, snow day is not the same as a hurricane day.
No, it's not.
So, all right. So,
it's a
how
lot
did you?
easier and a lot more fun to cool off. Than
It's
it is to
so
warm.
much better. I can go in and out of air conditioning here. You don't
It's
have to
true.
have 95 layers to just go outside, so you can try to get the ice off your windshield.
Well, it's actually AC to pool to AC.
Amen. And there's a cocktail in my hand the entire time.
Which, by the way, 5 stars.
do you like
Very
it?
good, very
you like
good.
it?
Bogart.
It's very
Cheers.
good.
Blossom.
Blossom.
Right?
That's
Okay,
right.
great. 5 stars.
Because it's rosé vodka, they thought, oh, that's a cute play on it, and I agreed with them.
That's
Rosé,
great.
rose, it's delicious. Rosé vodka is not the same as rosé wine, by the way. This is like 35% alcohol.
That's
All
why
right,
we're just gonna sip.
so obviously Jeff has a little bit of a background in sales and real estate. When you guys came together, he was saying that he did it, and then you kind of came on board 5 or 6 years later. What was the delay, and what made you make that decision from a business perspective?
From a business perspective, what was really interesting is Jeff was asking me often to come on board, and I was a little resistant in the beginning. And then one day he kept saying, but we're onto something great here, we're onto something great, you need to come over. And then he said to me one day, I'm going to hire someone. Should we bring you on board, or would you like me to hire someone?
Nice.
And I sat down and looked at the computer and looked at all the awesome things that he had going on. He was building our website, which is now still going strong. And I sat down and said, oh, you are onto something. And I jumped right in and never came out.
Nice.
It was
And
supposed
so-
to be part-time, by the way.
Well, it always starts that way, but obviously you're good at it. You have a passion for it now. You love doing what you're doing, but that's not always how you're jumping in. That's the leap of faith we talk about a lot. Was it difficult? Were you the one with the regular salary, and then Jeff was the salesperson, or did both? So that's what I think a lot of people are afraid of making that leap, because they are so afraid of being commission only. And trust me, it's not. I talk about it all the time. It's not that easy, but if you're good at it and you're a hard worker at it, you can make it work.
But you have to believe in yourself.
You do have to believe in yourself.
That's the big thing, is really believe in yourself and that you know what you're going to do. And when you can do that, then you have a path. And once you have a path, you just stick to your path.
That's
And
right.
Now, do you have different roles in the collection? So it's called the Funk Collection, which I absolutely love. Instead of the Funk Team, we've gotten away from some of those words, but I love the Funk Collection. Do you all have different roles in there? Because collaboration was one of the themes, so you obviously have to collaborate. husband and wife is one thing, but business partners and collaborating and running a team is a different thing.
Absolutely. Renee's in charge of a lot of our social media. Looks after the team a lot, and I'm kind of numbers guy.
You're the numbers
Yeah, I'm
guy?
the numbers
I would have guessed that. I
I'm the
love
dreamer. He's the finance.
that. So you have the ethereal kind of ideas, and then he
Brains.
helps put it. He helps put it to bed, or helps make it work as far as the numbers are concerned.
It's a good pairing, and you are right. We talked about this topic being collaboration. It is such a blessing when you surround yourself with people who are open to collaborate, and I think
Correct.
so. That's a lesson I've just learned even more specifically over the last couple of years. And so as we built our team, the Funk Collection, there's a give and take to collaboration, don't you think?
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
how powerful it is when you surround yourself with a group of people who are willing to dance that give and take. That's where the magic happens. And there's a lot of collaboration. It starts with Jeff and I, but we're so blessed to have the most spectacular team around us and with us who all collaborate every day.
Now, how does that work as far as, one of the things I get asked a lot is when you have a team, when you have an office, when you're trying to build an office and build an environment, which is so important that the atmosphere and the environment are in line with what your goals are and what you want, how you want people to be. How do you go through and say, identify somebody who is a great team member and maybe somebody who isn't?
A lot of times, well, we start with the disc profile.
Oh, you
we have-
work-
we-
okay,
we-
so
we
you
do
use
disc
disc.
profile
That's
assessments,
awesome.
absolutely. And anybody that comes on our team does take a disc profile. And I do want to say one thing. When we talked about collaboration, collaboration is one of our core values for our team. So we were so excited when you said collaboration.
Yeah.
It's something we're very passionate about. We just came back from our conference, and we had 2,000 people of the most amazing collaboration. Renee and I helped do an RE bar camp, and
Nice.
it was
That's
Have you done that
awesome.
before, Ty?
I've not done it.
It was our first time too.
That's
It's pretty
awesome though. I hear
spectacular.
amazing things about
amazing,
it though.
amazing, unorganized chaos.
Isn't
they-
that our lives,
Yeah,
pretty
right?
much?
Yeah.
Well, they call
We
it
fit
an
right in.
unconference, and the whole premise is that you have to collaborate together to
right.
let the day unfold. So collaboration at its finest.
Because real estate in general, same with mortgage, and I think a lot of the sales-oriented careers, people are afraid of collaboration because they think competition, and then they don't realize that there's so much more power in collaborating because they're told, well, that's my competition, I can't work with them. That's my competition, I can't possibly come up with the same ideas as them or try to work together toward a common goal. And they don't get that result, I think, that they would get if they were more collaborative in their spirit.
It's fast track thinking too, because when you collaborate with others and you come from an open heart,
Yeah.
you're going to fast track your path that you're on. So if you're building a business and you collaborate with those around you, again, give and take, right? We talked about give and take.
Give and take.
You help others around you at the most basic level. It sounds a little cliche, but it works.
It works, and I feel like it feeds your soul. There's so many good things about collaboration on a business level, and it bleeds into the rest of your life. People are like, Ted, I can't believe you hang out with other mortgage people, for example. Or why would you be part of the different mortgage organizations? Well, those are my friends, and there's plenty of business to go around, people.
right.
So if you're if you're worried about your competition, and that's your main drive as to why you don't get involved, I think you're doing it wrong. My opinion.
Agreed 100%.
Yeah, I think the more collaborative you can be, which one of the other words I used, which I took straight from you, I didn't create this, empowerment. I think people, in order to empower people more, in order to be empowering, there has to be that collaborative spirit.
Agreed with that 100%. And what's important to remember too is that it has a lot to do with the company you keep. So when you take a look
Absolutely.
around and do inventory about who's around you, a valid question, and by the way, fully transparent, is this isn't something that, at least I'll speak for myself, that I felt that just took place. It was a decision to say we are going to go so much further when we're working together.
Correct.
It's a mindset thing.
Let's talk about that decision, because we talked a little bit about deciding you're going to be happy, choosing to be happy, because all three of us love Mondays. I love to get up on Mondays. I do a show on Mondays with Yvonne. I mean, there's so many good things about Mondays, but people who are not in a good place for whatever reason, business or life, they look forward to the Fridays and the Saturdays only. Sundays they're all stressed out because they're thinking about Mondays. Like, it's the craziest thing.
Yeah.
I was there, and that's talking about the authenticity and sharing and being transparent. I was there when I worked in a job or worked with a company that I wasn't happy in either way, because it can be challenging. You're like, oh God, I really don't want to get up and do the exact same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But you get to choose. So talk a little bit about that, because we had a nice conversation. You actually, people don't like to hear it, but you get to choose your mood for that day.
It starts here.
It really does.
And
Talk about that.
It's great to like Saturdays too. I mean, Saturdays are awesome days. You get to sleep in, and but Mondays they're exciting. You have a whole new week ahead of you, and what are we going to accomplish this week? And whenever we speak, we talk a lot about, if you're not liking your Monday, take a look at what you're doing and find something that you really like, or change your position in your job, because it's when you find it and you can have fun, it's so inspiring.
Change your tribe if you have to.
Yeah.
Take that inventory of the people around you, because I feel that's the primary source. It's contagious, again, with the cliche,
Totally.
but it is. It's contagious. So if the tribe around you is happy and you wear your smile. Also, we talk about when you're on the phone or you're talking with customers or even your friends. Sit up, and actually it's inventory for me right now. I'm not sitting up.
That's all right. I
but
probably aren't either.
You should sit up and make that choice. It all starts with the physicality of it.
Or stand if you have a standing desk.
That's
So
it.
I
Oh,
love
he likes
the
the standing
I
desk?
have the standing desk. I put the earbuds in and I walk.
I love it.
Walking around.
Joe Thomas says, eyebrows up. It's hard to feel low when the brows are up. I like that.
That might be
I
challenging
like
for
that.
Botox people.
I don't know what's
though.
happening there. My eyebrows. But we do. I've done a couple of shows with the theme about in order to attract, you have to subtract. Meaning, you've got to get rid of that toxicity in your life, and so you have to look and see who you're surrounding yourself with, which is what Renee and Jeff are talking about. And if those people are toxic, or they're not supportive, or they don't go along with your vision, it doesn't mean you can't love them. But if you're hanging around them all the time and getting your energy from that, it's super bad. It's not good for you. It's not productive. It's probably one of the reasons why you are stuck and stagnant and in the same position and not moving anywhere and not happy.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about the real estate world, because people want to know what's going on. You hear about a shift. I keep hearing that there's a shift from seller's market to buyer's market. I also keep hearing that it's very difficult to get a loan, which is not true.
Right.
I hear a lot of
I hear
stuff
a lot
out
of interest
there.
rates are high, and that's
Yes,
not true either.
that's so funny to me. Interest rates are high. No, they're higher than they were. I
Right.
give you that. But historically, they're still very low. So talk about what you guys are seeing in the market.
Well, our team, we collaborate in our cloud-based environment every day with our team, and we've been hearing a lot about the elections. So the elections are over. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Right?
It doesn't
It's
matter
over.
which
Either
way it
side,
went.
yeah.
Well, here we are today, but it's not going to change. So we, and interest rates. So that's been the big shift. We have short memories, and 10 years ago when interest rates were 6 3/4, 7%, we had people lining up because they were awesome. They were
Preaching
awesome,
to the
awesome
choir with
rates.
Ted.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember when we
No
were buying our
doubt.
house. It was 6 3/4. We were like, woo, yeah, let's go. And 3.5% interest rates aren't here anymore. I'd like to buy.
I wish they were here, but they're just
I do.
not.
I
There's
mean-
nothing you can do about that. They're still low, though.
I would like to buy Amazon stock at $50 too, but it's
Listen,
a
I
little
want to
higher.
buy Amazon stock when it was just a little bookstore.
Yeah.
Remember the little bookstore? Like, you bought books? I'm like, well, who's going to buy books online? It was brilliant. You had to have the vision.
It's a great time to buy real estate. And the rates going up a little bit, what does that mean? Our economy is doing awesome.
Correct.
So rates going up, it just means that people can afford, that there's more affordability there.
We talk a lot on our team about the importance to educate. Even when you were saying, Ted, that, I hear there's a shift, it kind of frustrates me because I feel as though the very fact that we're using those words is almost, it's perpetuating something.
It
It's
really
about
is.
the education. yes, there's been a change. Interest rates are slightly higher now than they were at whatever benchmark time we want to give, but can we just educate and keep the conversation going that it's more about, it's a great time to buy, especially there's so many phenomenal markets. There's areas in Central Florida that are currently priced now lower than they were in 2010. Do you know that?
Did you hear that? I mean, that's the kind of stuff people want. People don't believe because the media, nothing against my media friends, but you all love to paint this dramatic picture of how bad things are and how it's awful across the board, and that's not true.
If you don't believe us that we can find you a house cheaper today than in 2010, call me.
See, there it is. I set that up, Jeff. You took it.
Thank you. I did.
Hook, line.
Hook, line, and sinker. All right, so tell me a little bit about, we didn't talk about this, but you guys are very charitable. You're super involved in Edgewood Ranch.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that just a teeny bit, but also talk about your involvement in the community and how important that is to not just your life, but your business. I mean, talk a little bit about that. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
You can.
I'll start just touching on that. So Ted's right. We've been helping Edgewood Children's Ranch by either donation of time or, when possible, donations of money are also welcome. Edgewood Children's Ranch is a local Orlando charity helping at-risk youth. So it's in our own backyard. A lot of people don't even realize it's literally in your backyard.
Right.
It's really important to do that. We've been trying to help them as much as possible over the last 8 years so that we can give back. So we're blessed to have great business. Our customers are very loyal, and we focus on making sure that we can deliver.
Because it's about balance,
others.
right?
Yeah.
So you've got you have two children.
We do, 2 boys.
2 boys.
Yeah.
You've got your business that you work in together. You have your philanthropy. And I think a lot of people don't know how to figure out how to balance all of that at one time. I get a lot of comments, Ted, well, you asked me earlier, when do you do business?
Yeah.
And I think it's about finding that time that makes sense for you, but you always have to make time for certain things. You have to figure out how to balance it out. It's not easy, and that's one of the things that I always tell people on the show. Just because we're talking about it here, and it sounds like they've got the perfect marriage, the perfect family, the Cleavers. I know, it's all right, you do that.
Thanks, honey.
Everything's perfect in business.
Yeah,
Everything's perfect.
yeah.
And so there are challenges that we all go through, and I think it's super important for people to understand that just because it's not working right this minute doesn't mean you should give up on it and not continue to try to develop it and flesh it out and figure out what does work.
I think a lot of it, like I said earlier, is staying the line. I've noticed over the last year, we've had our most successful year that we've had in real estate. And
Congratulations, that's
thank you.
awesome.
And
Thank
in
you.
that time,
Thank you, team.
yes,
team.
thank you, team. And we
Collaboration.
cannot do it without the team. But during that time, we took our first vacation where we put the phones away.
Love
I've
it.
been exercising every day. We lost 30 pounds.
Congratulations.
It's been an incredible year, and it's all about being in your right zone and having the right mindset, just starting from the mindset. And it's really big.
So my contribution to this topic will be, first of all, that word balance. I don't believe in it. You got to throw it out. Take it out of your
I
vocabulary.
love
Life is
that.
Get it out.
balance.
I think it's an absolute unachievable idea that, especially in today's day and age, that we can be balanced. So a big change I made recently is to take it out. Work-life balance, that's garbage. There's no such thing. The lines are so blurred now. The question is
love
are
that.
you being purposeful with your time?
The purposeful part is so important. Talk a little bit
Purposeful.
about that.
And
What does that mean?
it's something I'm working on. And so even making the statement is important because I want to stake that claim and hold myself accountable. I will happily say I'm getting better at it, but being purposeful with your time is really carving out time, and whoever I'm with in that moment is I'm in that moment with that person.
Correct.
Put the phone away, put it on vibrate, commit the time with that person, and then move on.
Being
Time block.
present is so important, and time blocking, like
Yeah.
a lot of people are really big into the time blocking, and I think that for some people that really is the only way for them to continue to be present. When I have a meeting, a lot of people give me a hard time because when I have a meeting, like if I'm with you, my phone goes away.
Yep.
If I take a look just from a text message perspective, but if I answered every single call that came in during our time together, you would want to kill me and we would get absolutely
Likewise.
nothing accomplished.
Likewise.
And so if you're going to be present, if you choose to have the relationships and build the relationships, you have to put some of that stuff aside. So time blocking is so critical. If we have a 1-hour meeting, I should be the focus. You should be my focus. That's what we should be sitting and talking about. But if you allow every other extracurricular outside force into your life during that time, nobody benefits.
No one benefits. And besides, I also don't really believe in multitasking. So again, we're on the topic of collaboration and being empowered, and this all ties together. I don't think you can truly multitask. And isn't it interesting in today's day and age how we are pushing the boundaries of multitasking, the way everything infiltrates each other?
Yes.
I just don't. I don't think you can successfully multitask.
Have you seen the studies with multitasking? The people that say they can multitask have a really high rate of errors. So focus in on what you're doing, put your attention to it, do it right.
They're also stressed out to the max.
Oh yeah.
Like, I know people that say they multitask, so they've got the earbuds in one, they're on the phone, like it's not being in the moment, and I know that sounds like it's easy, it's not, but you do have to be cognizant of it, and you have to be purposeful, which is what Renee said. You have to be intentional with trying to be in that moment, and I know that it's hard. You don't, there are people that swear to me that the 4 to 8 rule, there's this book about get up at 4 a.m., I personally can't do that. So it doesn't mean that you're a bad person if you can't do that, but find your own time blocking for that. Figure it out. What makes sense in your life and what makes sense for your business. And I love that you guys, you kind of threw out some of the myths. I don't believe in multitasking either. What was it? You said something earlier too.
I don't believe in the word
balance.
balance.
Listen, you're going to lose your mind if that's your whole goal. Oh, so 30% of the time I'm here, 40% I'm here. Don't. You can't. You're right. It's blur. I have a show coming up. It's so funny you use that word about living in the blur. I live in the blur 24/7.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm totally okay with that.
okay.
It's okay to live in the blur, but as long as you're present during some of the blur times with the people you're with.
Right.
It all kind
Especially with the kids, and
Yeah.
that's really, they're growing up so darn fast.
they go.
And
So how old are your babies? I forgot.
12 and 8.
Yeah. So I
And,
get it.
Yeah, I remember we were talking earlier today about our then 9-year-old was the one who came up with our team name.
Oh yeah.
the Fun
Talk a little bit about
Collection.
that.
So Ted was asking about our name for our team, the Fun Collection, and Jeff and I were sharing that we were kind of brainstorming one day, trying to come up with ideas, throwing things to the wall to see what would stick, and Sam, our then 9-year-old, just popped up in his chair. And what'd he say?
So how about the Funk
Yeah.
Collection?
I love it. When I went to your page to try to figure out the show topic or the show title, and I saw the Funk Collection, I'm like, you've got to be kidding. That is so brilliant because nobody else has used that word, collection.
Yep. So we all have Sam Funk.
Sam
Thanks for
Funk
that.
too.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to share, this is how fast it goes, right? We're going to share all of Renee and Jeff's contact information, how you can reach out to them. They're very accessible, so if you're in real estate, you're in business, you want to reach out, they're going to listen to you and they're going to help you. Collaboration, empowerment, they walk the walk, they really do. It's not just talk the talk. So
you
any,
for that. That's
of
nice of
course,
you.
no, I believe that 100%. Any parting words of wisdom for them, and either both of you can go or one of you can go, anything you want to share with them before we head out?
I go first.
Sure.
Don't think. You
Don't
know what to do. Do it. Trust your heart. Get your line and go. I think that's when you overthink things don't get done. So you know what to do in your heart.
Love
I
it.
love that.
I love that.
My parting words would be the lesson I've learned this year. When you're uncomfortable, you are growing, and something really phenomenal comes on the other side of that. So be comfortable being uncomfortable, because something fantastic always comes, and you're building awesome relationships along the way.
I love that. All right, you guys have been a joy to have on the
Thank
show.
you for
Thank
having
Thank you
us.
so much for putting up all the changes and
Love
the
it.
crazy stuff. So Jeff and Renee Funk, look them up. We'll
Yeah.
put it on there, I promise. As soon as we share the show, we love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us,
Thanks
Ted.
for
By
having
the
us.
way, the drink is
Is
fabulous.
it? It's good, right?
Gotta
Cheers
come
to you
try
guys.
one. Cheers.
We love you
Thanks
guys.
for having us.
Mwah. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.